Hi, how you doing? And welcome back to another video on the channel. What we have for you today is just a quick review of Game Week 21 and then a bit of a bonus video because there is quite a bit of time before Game Week 22. And we're just going to have a look at my potential transfer options. Hopefully, they might help you out as well. So if you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Had a couple of new subscribers since the last video, so we're really pushing for 60 just whenever we can. It'd just be fantastic. So yeah, thank you for the support and let's get into it. So, just a bit of a review of Game Week 21 here, just as my team gets back on the board. And it was absolutely fantastic, to be honest. I've actually gone up 2 million places since the World Cup, and obviously, the lower down you are to start with, the more room there is to improve your rank. But we've also gone up about 1.1 million places in the last two game weeks as well. So at least we're moving in the right direction, just outside 3 million rank. But I do feel good about where the team is at. Lots of returns here. Obviously, the double Newcastle clean sheet paid off again. Attacking wise, loads of attacking returns. You know, Saka, Mitoma, and Rashford all scored from midfield. De Bruyne got an assist. Andreas only came in because Walker didn't play. So at the time, I was like, oh, Andreas could get some more points. Hoping Walker didn't come on in the last minute. Only got two in the end, but we absolutely take it. And Kane and Haaland both scored. Obviously, Haaland got a hat trick. Absolutely the right person at captain. And you know what? Captain Haaland actually feels really good compared to the start of the season when I didn't even have him in, even though I knew I probably should, was kind of waiting for that bubble to burst that never did. Um, and yeah, I'm not bothered about missing out on all those points now because they're long in the past. We're concentrating on the present and the future, and it's just great. So yeah, current game week rank or finished game week rank of just inside 300,000, and I feel like I'm in a good place to push forward. So these transfer strategies, what we have here, is really reliant on Leeds and Man United not drawing in the FA Cup. So I'm super aware that these can change. But option number one would be just a straight swap from Martial to Weghorst. Now, I do have two free transfers and I am looking to use them both, but I kind of thought, maybe if I save one transfer, then I could really capitalise on the Arsenal double up next game week in game week 23 and getting more Arsenal players for their double game week. But Martial to Weghorst, Martial's currently injured. Weghorst is about 0.5 million cheaper, so it gives me that bit extra to play with for future game weeks. And it gives me two free transfers to go in to the next game week. Weghorst is starting. He's not really contributing yet, but it is something where he could get one or two goals in this double game week. It's quite a nice double game week for Man United, having Crystal Palace and Leeds United. So yeah, that's option one. Option number two, I've got Martial out for Nonto and De Bruyne out for Fernandes. Now, this is really just because I think Man United have a good chance of attacking returns in this double game week. Bruno's actually got 5 attacking returns in his last 6 game weeks, so he is on form. Um, Nonto's starting as well. The problem this leaves me with is kind of, how do I get back onto triple Man City for their double game week? I'd want De Bruyne back, so it's kind of like a bit of a sideways move. But then you also think, well, if you think Fernandez is going to score more than De Bruyne in this game week, with the two fixtures he's got, then you would make that transfer. So I'm a little bit undecided on this. Obviously, Nonto, whilst he's starting, isn't guaranteed starts, and he's not actually like the cheapest player possible from Leeds that'll probably start. And he's not got lots of attacking returns so far this season. So he's just kind of getting into the mainframe. I also think 5.1 million in the bank is so ridiculous to have in terms of your funds. It just makes me think like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I should have more expensive players in. But this is kind of the state of play that we have at the moment, where there are a lot of mid price players that could be contributing more than the higher value players. So yeah, this is option two. Option three coming up is my favourite so far, and it really looks like I'm not a fan of Martial. Um, I mean, he is currently injured, and that is something to be taken into account for. But it is Martial to Nketiah and Patterson to Martinez. Because whilst I think Man United are going to have a lot of attacking opportunities in these two game weeks, I do also think that it's a great chance for clean sheets as well. And I do think doubling up on the Man United defence is a fantastic option. I've gone for Martinez, not because he scored in the last game week and I think he's going to score every game week, but because he's the cheapest defender that Man United offer. I think I could upgrade it to Varane if I wanted to, but really, if they're both starting, I'm not too fussed in terms of which one's which. You'd go for the cheap one. Also, taken out Patterson and brought in Nketiah, and I do think that Nketiah is somebody that I will want in that double game week for Arsenal in game week 23. So I do think this sets me up pretty well with triple Man United for this game week, if it happens, if the double game week happens. Um, and then still got triple City. I don't need to do anything to get in triple City for the game week 23 and double up on Arsenal with that one free transfer that I will have if in case I wanted to move, say, Dan Burn to Ben White or Kyle Walker to Ben White or something like that. I've got a little bit of flexibility. I do think this team is also setting me up quite nicely for a bench boost. Not that I am planning on um, bench boosting anytime soon. My bench boost will be coming as soon as the double game week is announced for all teams, probably in April time. But I did get me thinking of, this actual squad looks pretty good right now. And who would I put on the bench? I think for this game week, if went with this, I'd probably bench Andreas, uh, Walker, and probably Dan Burn. I think, Newcastle have West Ham at home. But Mitoma has Brighton at home, and I think it was kind of a 50-50 between those two. And whilst, benching a Newcastle defender just seems, a bit ridiculous, I think Mitoma's on great form. And I think Bournemouth for somebody that um, will concede a lot of goals. And West Ham are somebody that Newcastle playing that could score. West Ham scoring is not completely out of the question. So yeah, I think this gives me the best rounded squad. But let me know what you think. I just wanted to get out a bit of a bonus video in case you guys are maybe concerned about your transfers as well. Remember, wait until after the FA Cup this game week to decide what you're going to do because there's no point getting in Man United players if Leeds then go and draw their FA Cup game because that double game week won't happen and it'll completely change everything in the thought process. But yeah, let me know what you think about my transfers. Good luck with your game week. Hopefully, last game week went pretty well, and I will see you in the next one when we look at probably a wildcard team going into game week 22.